Thanks for watching ERi-TV, dear viewers. Welcome to our news broadcast. Here are the headlines. Southern Red Sea conducts activity assessment meeting. Eritrean diaspora in Israel and Kuwait make financial contribution. U.S. says Russia's interest to end war in Ukraine insincere. Palestinian footballer killed by Israel in West Bank. In our domestic news, the Southern Red Sea Region Administration conducted activity assessment meeting of 2022 and charted out development programs for 2023 on 21 and 22 December in the port city of Asab. At the meeting, Ambassador Mohammed Saeed Mantai, governor of the region, gave briefing on the objective ongoing 5-year plan and called on all stakeholders to strengthen participation for the implementation of the programs. According to reports presented at the meeting, with ample distribution of rainfall, 320 hectares of land has been cultivated with strong participation of the public. Praiseworthy water and soil conservation and renovation of water diversion schemes have been conducted. As regards to fish farming activities, the report noted that 628 tons of ice has been produced and ice worth 500,000 nakfa has been distributed to disadvantaged fishermen, and trainings were given to 260 fishermen. Regarding health service, the report added that commendable health service has been provided to the public. The prevalence of communicable diseases has significantly been reduced. No HIV/AIDS infection has been reported, and encouraging environmental sanitation activities have been conducted. The participants on their part conducted extensive discussion on the reports presented and adopted various recommendations. Eritrean nationals in Israel and Kuwait contributed $1,200,000 towards various activities, according to reports from Eritrean embassies in both countries. Heads of national associations in Israel conducted activity assessment meeting of 2022 and charted out programs for 2023 on 17 December. During the meeting in Israel, the Eritreans raised $668,000 for national development programs, $149,000 in support of families of martyrs, $137,000 for community activities, and $130,000 for different projects. The nationals also expressed conviction to reinforce participation and contribution for the implementation of the charted out programs for 2023. In the same vein, Ms. Astir Tesfaye, resident in Kuwait, congratulated the Eritrean people and its heroic defense forces in connection with the new year 2023 and made a contribution of $100,000 towards national cause. The Ministry of Health branch in Gash Barka region organized 2 weeks training focusing on prevention of communicable diseases in general and that of HIV/AIDS in particular. According to Mr. Gabra Meskal Waldabski, head of HIV/AIDS, said that the objective of the training was to curb the prevalence of communicable diseases and especially HIV/AIDS, ensure supply of medicines to patients, as well as encourage infected individuals to start taking their prescribed medicines. Mr. Gabra Meskal also called for increased treatment of pregnant women, diagnosis of couples before marriage against HIV/AIDS, and patients to take their medication without interruption, noting that the training had significant contribution in sharing experiences as well as acquainting the trainees with new guidelines. Mr. Gabra Meskal called for reinforced participation in the effort to control the prevalence of communicable diseases. Ms. Saron Habtab from HIV/AIDS and STD Control Office, on her part, said that the mission of the Ministry of Health is to control the prevalence of communicable diseases and provide necessary treatment to patients, and called on the trainees to contribute their part in the effort. Those are domestic news. Please stay tuned now for the international news right after the short break. Russian President Vladimir Putin's call for an end to the war in Ukraine has been met with a sharp rebuke from the United States, which said the Russian leaders had shown, quote-unquote, zero interest in peace negotiations. Vladimir Putin had said on Thursday that Russia's goal is not to spin the flywheel of military conflict, but on the contrary, to end the war. Putin's comments came as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to the White House and later made a stirring speech to the U.S. Congress, where he said support for Ukraine was an investment in security and democracy for the entire world. The U.S. also announced an addition of $1.85 billion in military assistance for Kiev to coincide with Zelensky's first known trip outside of Ukraine since the war began in February 2022. Washington was swift in response to Putin's peace comments. The White House National Security spokesman John Kirby said Putin had shown absolutely zero indication that he's willing to negotiate to bring an end to the 10-month-old conflict. Palestinian medics say Israeli forces have shot dead a 23-year-old footballer and wounded 5 others during confrontations in the occupied West Bank. Ahmed Daragmeh was mortally wounded early on Thursday when Palestinians exchanged fire with Israeli troops who raided the city of Nablus to escort Jewish Israelis to a site known as Joseph's Tomb in the Palestinian city. The sound of gunfire was heard in amateur videos that Palestinians recorded from their windows. Daragmeh was from the nearby town of Tubas. Local Palestinian media reported that he played football for the West Bank Premier League club Takhafi Tulkarem. The popular Arabic football website Kura listed him as having been the team's top scorer this season with 6 goals. It was unclear whether he was taking part in the confrontations. Now a recap of tonight's headlines. Southern Red Sea region conducts activity assessment meeting. Eritrean diaspora in Israel and Kuwait make financial contribution. U.S. says Russia's interest to end war in Ukraine insincere. Palestinian footballer killed by Israel and the West Bank. And that was our news for tonight, dear viewers. It is good night from us.